Hi. Welcome to the third episode of Funny Things That Happen to Real Estate Agents. I'm Sam Staskell with EXP, and tonight my guest is Amanda Patterson from Keller Williams in New York, and she's here to share a story with us. So we'll get to her in just a minute. But if you're in the industry and you have a funny story to share and you want to be on the show, please reach out either to me directly or email the show at funnythingsre@gmail.com. And I'll post that again at the end. So before I bring her on, let's get started. And there's always a delay before it comes back to me. All right, so here is Amanda. Welcome, Amanda. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's just jump in and get a little bit of your history, okay? So you're in New York. You're with Keller Williams, right?
Yep. Southern tier Finger Lakes. Yep.
Okay.
They're all independently owned. So
they are? All the Finger Lakes are independently owned?
No. The Keller Williams.
Oh, okay. I was like, somebody owns the Finger Lakes? I want to know that person.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do? Yeah, right there with you. All right. So tell me, how long have you been in real estate?
Well, I have been involved in real estate for over a decade, between starting off as a receptionist and then stepping into a position doing marketing coordinator for a real estate office out of Ithaca. And then I took a little bit of a break in between and worked at Ithaca College and did some marketing there in the annual fund. And then I actually ended up joining a real estate team, and I was on that for about 6 years until I just recently decided to do real estate and homeschooling full time.
Yeah, we all didn't plan for that, did we?
No, not at all.
So you've been with Keller Williams since, did you tell me?
It was August.
August.
Of this
Okay.
year.
So you're relatively new to Keller Williams and selling.
Yeah.
And you're frozen. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was like waiting. There's a little bit of a delay there.
That's okay.
What you said.
That's okay. So let's just jump into your story. Okay. So
I went and showed a couple this beautiful farmhouse that was completely redone. Like it must have been taken down to like the studs. It was like incredible. Brand new hardwood floors, your chef's kitchen, just gorgeous. And one of the big things that they wanted that was on their checklist was storage. So I gave them the tour of the house, and the whole time we're like, where is the basement entrance? And I was like, well, maybe when they, redid the whole house, they put it onto the slab, but let's go check outside. Like, let's go see what they've got out there for the outbuilding. So we go out there, it's huge. We're like, great, this checks all the boxes. And then I see this little room that has a locked door, but it's on the exterior of the house. And I go over, clean the window, peek through, and I'm like, oh, there's a wooden wall. I'm like, this must be another storage room. I'm like, this is amazing. They're going to love it. So much storage.
Right.
So then I go back into the house, grab the keys, go to unlock it, and I'm talking to them. I'm like, guys, this could be it. This could be the house. And I fling the door open and take my first step in, and I just fell, like kind of leaped down probably about 10 or 12 steps. And I landed on my side, like on a chicken wing. And I'm just laying there, and they're like mortified, running down the stairs, trying to help me up. And I'm like just sitting there like, let me check. Did I break anything? Am I okay? So they're like dusting me off and like, kept asking if I'm okay. But I'm like, it's all right. Look, it's a dry basement. Everything's good. Look, the electric's been updated, guys. I think this could be it.
Right.
And they're just still like, are you okay? I'm like, it's fine. Everything's fine. So after this, though, we still had to drive 30 minutes to the next property, and then I had to drive an hour home.
Oh my gosh. So when you fell,
like,
you actually fell.
I had to have broken something. I fell on my side. Like I literally had a chicken wing. Wait a minute. Oop. Nope. Chicken wing arm down on the ground, completely on my
Chipping away.
side, and I just like roll onto my back, and I'm like just making sure nothing broke. I get home, I have a completely swollen ankle. 2 days later, I go, I'm like, I think I need x-rays. Nothing was broken. It was a
Right.
complete miracle, but absolutely embarrassing. And now I'm kind of like traumatized from the whole experience. And
Right.
pretty much anytime I show a house, I'm like, okay, guys, use your lights, use your lights. And even my husband for Christmas was like, here, I got you a flashlight so you can look before you leap next time. And I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, there won't be a next time because I'm terrified. But it's horrible. I'm almost like, I tell my clients, I'm like, after you.
Right.
Like, I turn on the lights. I'm like, well, hold on to the banister first.
Right.
Like,
Watch your step.
Yeah. So embarrassing, but
So,
I don't know. It breaks the ice sometimes when I'm working with new clients.
right. Well, you get so caught up into
more
everything. So you get so caught up
Yeah.
into everything. So I'm glad that you were able to like keep rolling with what you have to do, even though you just fell down a whole story,
Yeah.
It's not just like 4 stairs. I mean, you dropped from main floor to ground floor.
Yeah.
And it, like I told you before, it reminds me of that scene in Home Alone 2 where the kid pranks those criminals, and the one opens the door and just like takes a step. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. He just falls
Yeah.
down in the
Yeah.
basement.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Like there wasn't even a landing to like step onto to then go down the steps. It was just straight steps. And I'm like,
Right.
why isn't there a sign there that says like watch your step or something? Like, how was I supposed to know? I mean, it's an
Yeah.
exterior. It was like very professionally done. And I was like, oh, it's just more storage.
Clunk.
Oh
Um,
my God.
so maybe that's why they were selling the house, is because they had an accident. I don't know. Did the buyer end up buying that house? Oh shoot.
No.
No.
No, we ended up seeing probably like 4 or 5 more. No.
So let me guess, they were interested until you took the plunge.
I don't know. No, I think the hang up was wanting internet, and it was spotty out there.
It's kind of hard to buy a
Spotty
farm.
in here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to buy a farm though if you don't have internet, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just doesn't. At least where I'm from, the internet. If you're buying a farm, you probably have dial up or worse.
Mm. Yeah.
Which my internet's being a jerk tonight and is all clunky, so I apologize. So you've had other like showing mishaps where
Yeah, since COVID has started, it's just been like, you walk in, you've got your hands full with everything, and you're trying to make sure you get everything done when you go to leave. And I I during the fall, I was showing a home, and I went through and locked everything up, wiped everything down, and I walked out of the house, and I was looking at the tree, and I'm like, wow, that's a really pretty fall tree. I'm going to take a picture to post online. And then I realized I left my phone inside the house, and I could see it right on the table. So then I'm like stealth mode, trying to go and like open a window or essentially break into this home. And I'm just like walking around the exterior, trying all the doors. Of course, it's like perfectly locked. And I tried driving down to the end of the driveway. There was 2 neighbors, and the one house, it was like something out of a thriller movie because they had all these cars that needed to be fixed out front, and then like politics were playing loud over the radio, but nobody was around. And it was very uncomfortable. And yeah, I ended up having to leave a note for the seller. I'm like, can I come back for my phone tomorrow? Please email me.
we all have that panic though about getting locked out. Like I've like freaked out because I couldn't get the door open. I'm like, oh my gosh, I locked myself out. But
Yeah,
luckily I was able to get back in. But in your case, it sounds like you were using an app on your phone to open the lockbox to get in, right? Yeah,
exactly,
which
yeah.
a lot of us around here use that too. So it's the same scenario. If you get locked, if you lock your phone in there, there's no way to open that lockbox.
Yeah.
Which
And then I had another instance that was kind of interesting. So I met a client. We were going to the home inspection, and I had only met these clients one other time. And, like that's the startup of COVID and everyone's wearing masks. And I meet the home inspector there and I'm like, when are we going to get started? He goes, I'm just waiting for an extra guy, so it'll go a lot quicker. And I'm like, okay. So this other guy pulls up and I go, oh, you can park in the back. There's tons of parking back there.
Right.
He goes and parks, he walks up, and I assumed he was the other home inspector. So he's standing there, and then they introduce themselves, and I realize it's my client. I had no idea because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've only met you one other time. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this was you.
That is, it is tough though with mask on that, like you don't recognize them if they don't have the mask on. Like I've seen a client without his mask and I just walked right by because I didn't know, it was out in public and when I saw him and he didn't have the mask on, but I mean, not inside, it was outside. But yeah, it changes your appearance so much having that mask on, and that's hard to, recognize different features and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But that's all I got.
Well, you got a lot for just being in it in a short time.
Yeah.
Right. So do you like real estate so far?
Oh, I love it. I've always really enjoyed it. I love the marketing portion of it all and the creativity and it's a lot of fun.
So are you pretty active on social media and stuff?
I am. I like to usually do it when I get my daughter down in bed.
Right.
That's when my followers are most active. I like to think that anyways.
Right. Don't we all? Half the time I think I'm talking to myself. Yeah. It'll get there. Yeah. So if you had any tips for somebody that is thinking about getting in real estate or they're new to real estate, what, like I like to call it like a rookie mistake. Like what did you learn that you didn't know that didn't prepare you other than don't leave your phone on the table?
That's a good one. I wish you would have asked me that the other day. I could have planned. I don't know. I would just say, yeah. I would just say, make sure you're good at filing. I dislike paperwork so much. Like I love to be organized, but then like trying to fit that into my schedule is like chaos with 5 children. So it's like,
I know I have an office in my home. It's actually in the master bedroom because we didn't have anywhere else to stick it. So I have a desk there and my printer's on my desk. And I mainly just like sit in the living room and I send the print job to my bedroom to the printer. And then all my file folders are like stacked on my desk next to the filing cabinet.
Yeah. And every year I'm like, I'm going to get so much better about this. I'm like clicking books on my phone. I'm like, I'm going to be good about this year. I'm like, I'm doing good so far.
Tax season has got to be the hardest thing for me, getting used to leaving a full-time job and coming to real estate, being responsible for your own taxes. That I like throw all my receipts and everything in a folder. And then now I need to drag that all out and figure it out.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend's like, you ready to go file your taxes? I'm like, oh no, you gotta give me time.
Yeah. I use one of the pop-up diaper wipe containers. I just pop it open and I stuff it in there. I'm like,
that's a true mom realtor right there.
Then you just take a picture of it. It's horrible. Yeah, I still do that.
All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm just going to pop you out for a second and just hang tight in the waiting room. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me though. Thank you. But like I said before, if you are a realtor and you have a funny story to share, please reach out to funnythingsre@gmail.com. Or if you are in real estate and you are struggling to grow your business and you're interested in having a strategy call or a Zoom session with me and my business partner, Angela, please send an email to samsdaskelsells@gmail.com. All right. So I had promised everybody a clip of my daughter from having her wisdom teeth out. You feel like you have tampons in your mouth?
No.
Tell Grandma you're okay.
I'm not okay. I feel high. Like I'm never doing drugs. I don't want those pills.
Okay, you remember that.
Uh-huh.
I know you won't do drugs. Get your tampons in there and bite down. Oh, I love you. No, don't. Your eyes practically roll back in your head. Just calm down.
I was like my mom. And she goes, I go, oh.
Well, I couldn't come in with you because of COVID.
I
Stop crying. You need to bite that gauze. You have to leave that on for 30 minutes.
I come out, I go, and I start crying, and I was crying.
I told you were going to cry.
She goes, it's okay. You won't stop me. I know. And then she called you, and I was like, is she coming? She goes, no.
She wouldn't let me come in.
I know, you asked to come in.
Yes, I asked to come in. Because of COVID, I can't come in.
I was sitting there all by myself, and I was just crying.
Just bite your gauze. God.
I'm not even bleeding.
I'm going to gag. Oh, are we ready to go now? You want to go home?
No, I want a milkshake.
I'm going to get you a milkshake.
A chocolate one.
A chocolate milkshake? Don't cry. I'm going to get you one. I said I would get you a chocolate milkshake, okay? Okay, let's go. All right, that's it for this episode. I hope you'll join me again next week for more laughs. Have a good night.